Okay. Hi everyone. It's been a while. It's been a long time. I actually can't believe how long it's been, and hopefully you can hear me. I'm gonna check to see if things are working. Let's see here. Two. Um, it looks like sound is playing. Don't know if anyone is there in the chat to verify if you can hear me or not, because we did this kind of fast today, considering that, we've pushed back from 3 to now, and here we are. Anyway, let's see. Need to confirm. Gonna confirm. Gonna check on my own phone because this is what happens when you run things with the quickness without checking everything. Yeah, looks like sound is working. Awesome. Okay. Hey, everyone. How is everyone doing? Again, it's been a long time. Hey, Shay, how's it going? Hey, Riasat, how's it going? It's been a while. How is everyone doing? How is everyone enjoying summer 2025? How is everyone enjoying their summer in general? But yeah, I have been enjoying summer in a very different format. As you all know, I'm a mom now, so things are chaotic. But chaotic in a good way. It's fun, it's nice, it's different, it's challenging in its own ways, but it's all awesome. And this is also good because I'm looking to get back into content, even though we're not creating right now, but having a live helps with having that, you know, normalcy, regularity. I don't know. That's the best way I can think about it. But anyway, um, yeah, I'm glad everyone's having a good summer so far. And for the most part, I feel like it's been going pretty good for myself as well. But anyway, I feel like I should just dive into things so we don't delay or delay anything, right? All right, so you know how this usually goes. And if you haven't been here before, this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Mel, the host of this channel. This channel is Animel, Anime, and Manga with Mel. And, we talk about anime and manga here. Sometimes webtoons, sometimes manhwa, sometimes like other variations of animation, depending on, my interests. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about the anime that I've been watching this season for the most part. And I'm hoping that I can get some suggestions after we're done with this because there's some anime that I've already dropped based on the fact that like I just wasn't enjoying it as much, but we'll dive into that. I think as we go along, I'd love to hear about what people are enjoying the most as we talk about each and every other anime. And I love to hear about some anime that I don't currently have on my list that maybe I should add because I have a little bit of wiggle room. I have a little bit of wiggle room due to the fact that if you see the very first anime that I have here, which is the name is blanking on me because unfortunately I don't have access to watch it right now. Apparently, other countries have access to watch it. People have been streaming it. Not they've been streaming it on the seas. Let's just say that. And I'm not trying to do that. So therefore, I have to wait until September 7th to watch The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. There you go. That's the name of it. Has anyone had access to watch this, or are you like surfing the seas to watch this? Because I really want to watch it. And I'm waiting for Netflix to essentially like drop it September 5th, 7th so I can watch it because I keep seeing the clips and the animation is beautiful. It seems like it's just like that kind of anime that you gush over and you squee over and I'm just like I want to love it too. Thank you, Riasat. Yeah. And also that's what I've been hearing. It's such a great romance anime. And considering some of the other romance anime that we have built in this season, like My Dress Up Darling, because I've been enjoying that very much, but I'll get to that. I feel like The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity would be like a great addition to the comedy, the romance suite that we have going on this season. I guess you could kind of say that Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus is like soft romance. It's more supernatural with an undertone of romance. But, that's by the by. Nonetheless, I'm very upset about it. Like, I just had to come on here and gripe about that because them just being like, oh, well, we're going to release it at a different time because we're trying to release the English dubbing with the Japanese dubbing at the same time, so there's no spoilers. Maybe that's not the reason, but the fact that Netflix did that, like, I'm very upset by that. One, because Netflix is notoriously known for releasing anime without a dubbing until very, very much later, like an English dubbing, or not doing it at all, aka Orb on the Movements of the Earth. So they're like notorious for doing that. And the fact that they're trying to backtrack and say, hey, we're trying to release an English dub for this at the same time with the Japanese dubbing is great, but couldn't have they planned that a little bit better? Like, you could have planned that just a little bit better, because you just saying like, oh, we're going to release it in the summer, and then backtracking it and saying like, oh, JK, we're not releasing it at all this summer now. We're going to delay it until September 7th. Yeah, I'm mad about that, if you can't tell. Hey, Joel, you haven't watched it. I mean, I don't know if you have access to it, because I know you're in Europe. Maybe you have access to it and I don't, being that I'm in the US. But like, some people in other countries have access to it on Netflix already for some reason. And again, I don't understand the rollout. I don't understand the rollout. Like, someone help me make it make sense. Netflix, please explain to me why we did this. So yes, this is on my watch list. This is gonna be watched at some point, but I just had to put it on there because I mentioned it in my summer like preview, like what I was watching this what I planned to watch this summer, and I'm not watching it anyway. All right, so the real official start is with Dandadan. We're just gonna slot this up here because if you all know me, and again, if you've been here before, if you haven't been here before, make sure you subscribe. And if you're here in the chat and watching, make sure you like before you continue watching the rest of this live. Nonetheless, let's continue. Hey Spencer, how's it going? Yes, I made it to do a live. It's been like a month since momhood has started. But anyway, Dandadan. Dandadan has been greater than expected. Let's just say that. It's been greater than expected. Is my screen moving? It doesn't seem like it's moving. Hold on a second. Love technical difficulties. Yeah, this is awesome. Doesn't seem like my screen is moving. Kind of upset by that. I hate this technical difficulties. Okay. That's not cool. All right, then. So we're just going to talk. We're just going to talk. And I'll figure this out on the side as we talk. So Dandadan. Dandadan is getting slotted under Love It. Didn't expect to love it this much. And again, as these streams go, I'm going to try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible because, like probably some other people, you may be behind on stuff like I kind of was a few days ago. Yeah, a few days ago, I literally spent a whole day just binge watching stuff. But Dandadan's going Love It. Didn't expect to love it this much, just because you never know what Science Saru is going to put out. Sometimes they put out like something really amazing and you're just like, whoa. I didn't expect like some of these scenes to be animated in this way. Some of them, notably, I should say, is which episode was it? It was the episode. Okay, awesome. Okay, I fixed it. Yay. I think. Yeah, I fixed it. Yay. Hold on. And we did it. Okay, cool. Anyway, so Dandadan has been absolutely amazing. The scene with the rock band, the Exorcist rock band, amazing. I didn't expect him to do like a whole song for that scene, and I don't really listen to like metal, but I honestly was vibing out to that scene. Some of the other scenes that have come out have been just like really nicely done. The Evil Eye arc, as kind of expected, has been really cool and really amazing. And yeah, I don't know how other people is everyone here in the chat watching Dandadan? Are you caught up? And have you seen like some of the later episodes? I haven't seen the latest episode that dropped on Thursday. I've seen bits of it, but they had like this cute moment with Momo and Okarun, and I just love the way that they pepper in the romance. They do it in the manga as well, but as you know, the anime just always takes it like an extra mile, to the point that if you're a manga reader, you can absolutely enjoy the anime in a completely different format, in a completely different aspect, where you're getting just a completely different experience. Yeah. Okay, now that my brain is back on track and I fixed this, so I just really have loved it, enjoyed it. I think it's been doing great. Riasat, I think you would enjoy reading it, just because I think that Tatsu Sensei, the artist, the mangaka for Dandadan, has done a really good job in, how do I say this? In illustrating. Like, I feel like right now, everything that I've been reading in recent time, him and the mangaka for Sakamoto Days have some of the most interesting and dynamic action scenes illustration wise. Like, you can't even tell that it's like black and white on paper sometimes, because the scenes are so well done. And Tatsu Sensei has a really fine eye for detail. Like, you just appreciate the art. So I highly recommend the manga for anyone who's watching Dandadan. I highly recommend that you read side by side with it, just because you get a completely different experience from the anime. It's not like watching the anime and seeing something just like carbon copy animated, which is really good sometimes. Sometimes the source material as it is, getting like adapted exactly as you see in the anime, is something we just generally enjoy, and I'm not going to complain about that. But this one takes it leaps and bounds, so I'm going to say, Riasat, if you're thinking about reading it, I'm just going to promote that a little bit more and let you know that I think that if you read it, you're just going to get a completely different experience out of it. Spencer, oh yeah, I've let the manga build up for about 5 to 10 chapters so I can binge it later. That is a great idea, because I sometimes just like read it right away when it comes out on Mondays, and I'm like, oh, I have to wait like next week. And then there wasn't manga like this week. Like, I don't know if there was a holiday in Japan like this week, but there was no One Piece, there was no Sakamoto Days, there was no Kagurabachi, and then there was no Dandadan on Monday. And I was like, is there something that like I missed? I don't know what's going on. Derek, hello Mel, currently working, but I'll try to listen in. Thanks for chiming in or for coming in. This will always be like uploaded afterwards if you want to watch. So thanks for just commenting and just like jumping into the chat. If I'm not that talkative, that's why. Quick note on Dandadan, episodes 5 through 7 gave me the feel of season 1. Huh, okay. Because season 1 was more like slice of lifey, and I feel like episodes 1 through 4 for this season 2 of Dandadan, have just been really action packed. Also, it's kind of like directly carrying over from an arc that started in season 1, which is kind of interesting. I feel like season 1 of Dandadan would have done better if they just had it as like a 2-core season, where you get 24 episodes instead of 12 episodes here and 12 episodes here. I think people also would have been able to digest some of the last episodes a little bit better. It was a little bit weird how they chopped that up. But nonetheless, yeah, like these last few episodes have been more slice of lifey. Also, they've been like building up like characters a little bit and trying to like bring our characters together for what we will potentially see in future chapters or episodes and arcs. Joel, they're doing a very good job with the anime. Yes, super pleased. And I mean, I can't say this enough. Science Saru was like the perfect animation studio to be picked for Dandadan. I don't know who made the decision. I don't know if like people bid for it and then like the mangaka like said, yeah, I want to go with Science Saru, because they're known for doing like quirky anime like this. Like, the only other anime that's coming to mind right now is Devilman Crybaby, which I will never watch again for the life of me. It scarred the crap out of me, but it was really good. And what I will say, if you ever decide to watch Devilman Crybaby, if you haven't seen it, don't binge it in one night. Don't. All right, Moving on, I've said my piece on Dandadan. I could literally talk about it all day, though. Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone has been great, as expected. As you know, Dr. Stone is in its final season, so this is like part two of the final season. We still have like one more part to go. And I will say that I'm enjoying this part just a little bit more because the first part, it felt like they were like going against like Dr. Zeno's team and everything like that. So I feel like there wasn't a lot of like science happening, which I enjoyed a lot of. And I feel like there wasn't much of that like goofiness that Dr. Stone has to offer in the first part of the final season. So I've been enjoying this part of the season, or this core, a lot more, just because like I feel like we're getting back to the roots of Dr. Stone, where it's like a lot of goofiness amongst the characters, a lot of like new stuff being created, a lot of now futuristic stuff that's happening, which like really aligns with the title of this season, which is Dr. Stone Science Future, where we're kind of like going towards the future or something like that and building stuff post 21st century. Yes, Riasat, Devilman Crybaby was something else. I feel like there's no way to really describe Devilman Crybaby. Like, I need to like sit down and spend like a month writing down my real thoughts on Devilman Crybaby. But I digress. We'll leave that for a conversation for another day. Joel, love Dr. Stone. Yes, I do know that you were reading the manga. I've always kind of wanted to read the manga, but I feel like Dr. Stone I've enjoyed so much in the anime format that I kind of was like, I'm going to leave the manga over there. But I do love like the art style. I believe the mangaka's name is Bochi. Someone please correct me. I'm probably saying it wrong. I do like the art style for the Dr. Stone manga, so maybe I'll pick that up once the anime is done. But I'm really loving like this particular part of the season just because it's adding more to the lore again of like why man, what happened, how people got petrified, and getting back to some of the roots that made me like fall in love with Dr. Stone in the first place, which is a lot of the science aspect and a lot of the goofiness of the characters. It just like draws me in every time. So like I will say that it's great as expected. Is anyone else watching Dr. Stone? And hopefully I haven't spoiled anything for you if you haven't seen Dr. Stone at all in any shape whatsoever, because that's a possibility, right? And this is my regular reminder to drink water as I do these because I don't drink water enough. And I feel like when you are like the only person like doing a live, you have this capacity to just talk on end. And then by the time you're done, you're like, whoa, I need food, I need water, and I need a nap. Oh, anyway, Jiraiya, how's it going? What's up? Welcome to the live. Glad you can make it. It's good to see you all. I will say I've missed engaging with everyone in some capacity. It's been like dormancy for a very good reason, and it's been good to get that break as well because I feel like I wasn't like fully immersed anyway in content creating for the past few months. But nonetheless, I digress. But yeah, Dr. Stone, great as expected. Really enjoying it. It's doing a great job. And I think my concerns for part one was that I feel like they were going to rush things, but I feel like we're getting to its proper place. And I feel like we're going to be able to conclude Dr. Stone without it feeling rushed. Like, not concerned about that anymore. This part of the final season is giving me more reassurance. All right. Moving on to Gachia Katu. We finally got the naming down because, you know, if you watched the summer video that I did, I kind of messed it up. Chillin just got home from a fishing trip. Jiraiya, that's awesome. Like, I was thinking probably in the past year or so that I kind of want to learn, like, other skill sets that are not, like, technology skill sets because I feel like all of my skill sets live in the tech realm. And I was like, you know, I feel like I want to learn how to fish. So that's pretty awesome. I'm glad you went outside because I feel like I haven't been outside much. So I'm glad people are enjoying their summer. Gachia Katu. So Gachia Katu really drew me in because one, there was a lot of people talking about it. Two, I really liked the art style when I was reading the first chapter. I haven't read beyond the first chapter. And three, the messaging for Gachia Katu, or the concept of Gachia Katu, is very much about like this, you know, valuing things, like having value for things and people having value for like basic things, like things that other people might think is trash. I also think there's an aspect of environmentalism built into Gachiakatu, and classism, and like this whole like economic like division. You know, I feel like there's some things hidden in this that I am looking forward to seeing more of. They touch on it like in the first episode, but after that it's just been like full on action with a little bit of like classism still built in, like talking about the spherists and the grounders, and like just like the different planes of the earth, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like really like loving that concept, but I do hope that they touch more upon it in the future, because you know it's just been all action. The last episode that I've seen was, I think, episode 5. That episode was great. That episode was great. The character names I'm not remembering except for Rudo and Engine, because is it Engine or NG? The guy who's like has the buzz cut on the side. He's awesome. I love his character design, and we can simp for him because he's 28 according to, you know, character profile. So we simp for him. He is fantastic, and I just love his personality. So I am putting this under great as expected. I'm not going to say I love it, just because I feel like I want a little bit of more out of it, like the concept itself. That's what's buying me into like Gachiakatu, or like let me say that's what I'm expecting more of in the future, like this deconstruct of like these different concepts like environmentalism, classism, economic division, and inequalities that you see built in or talked about within the first episode. Derek says Gachiakatu's been cool so far. Riasat, yeah, Gachiakatu is fire. Yes, Gachiakatu. I feel like the animation is really cool. I saw like a snippet of the mangaka talking about Gachiakatu and how the Bones Studio, who's animating this, had to like figure out ways to like, I guess, draw the characters, just because the manga's way of like illustrating the characters is like little edgy, I guess, and they needed to figure out a way to like, you know, make it look more appealing. I don't know if the word's more appealing or proper in the anime. I can't recall the exact verbiage, but basically the mangaka was saying that they really liked how Bone Studio took the manga and like created like these characters, the anime version of these characters, and just really liked how the direction that they took them in. Nonetheless, action has been fantastic. I really think the power system is super cool because, like, in this world, especially since almost every country is like very consumerist based, but in the United States principally we're very consumerist based, so people like to buy a lot of things, and all of these things don't have value, or they lose their value over time, and we're very apt to just like throw them away, right? We're super apt to just throw them away, and we're just like, all right, you know, value has been lost. We attribute this value to it, and then we toss things away. And I really like how this show brings it into focus, because we do need to value the things that we like acquire. I feel like that's really important to kind of step back from this consumerist society that we live in and like diminish waste, because the loss of value in things end up creating more waste, yada, yada, yada. I'm just talking off my soapbox here because this concept is really cool. Saint Shade, are we back? We're kind of back. This is like a soft launch, you know? We're testing the waters. And I will say that I am writing here or there so that when I can come fully back and start creating more longer form content again, yeah, I'll be ready. So Gachiakatu, fantastic. I agree with Saint Shade. It's been a great 5 episodes so far. So I'm looking forward to everything else it has. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're getting 24 episodes of Gachiakatu, so therefore we should be seeing a lot more. Curious if there are any manga readers in like the chat, because I've seen like some discourse amongst manga readers thinking that they may like speed things up too much and they're concerned about pacing. I don't really know since I've only seen a chapter, but so far I'm loving it. So I'm saying this is great. Good job, Bone Studio. Okay, moving on to Kaiju number 8. So one of the things that I am writing currently is the fact that Kaiju number 8, as many of you may know, the manga has recently ended. And with the manga ending, there are some things that like I just have like a lot of questions about. So we're gonna be talking about just overall how Kaiju number eight's manga went, because as a lot of people like about it, it's we've got an adult character, someone who's extremely relatable, and it's got like some really cool power systems and art style, right? That's what people enjoy a lot about Kaiju number eight. Also, the action, the pacing is really good too. But we're gonna talk about that in another video. So far, the second season, season number 2, has been off to a really interesting start. Saint Shade says, honestly, we need more 24 episode anime those days. Yeah, it'd be nice to get like more like seasons that are 24 episodes long, but I feel like personally, with there being so much with there being so much new adaptations, with there being so much manga that studios want to adapt, I feel like we've gotten to a place of either oversaturation or overworking that I don't think it's really feasible to get all of that, and we're only getting it with people who have it like fully planned out, like Bone Studio with My Hero Academia, One Piece with Toei Animation. Also, Toei Animation's just giant, so what can you do about that? But like with other studios, it's really hard to get that 24 episode format. I feel like just due to the fact that we're like in this state right now where like everyone wants to animate a brand new manga because the community has grown so much around the world, and just like I think we've hit a cap and a bandwidth on like people in the industry that's willing to overwork themselves. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, so I mean, the manga is done if you guys are interested in reading it. I won't say you should run to read it. You're watching the anime, and to be honest, here's what I will say. The anime has been adding to the manga since season 1, and you can also see it a bit in season 2. Like I said, the pacing for Kaiju number 8 is quite fast. Fast in a good and in a bad way. But I think that the anime is trying to make up for it by adding context in places that like the manga never really added it in, because believe it or not, Kaiju number 8 finished in only 129 episodes, and they packed this really intense story. I wouldn't say intense story, but they packed this story into just like just basically 100-ish chapters, which if you read it, you think, wow, this is kind of insane. But nonetheless, I'm going to say that this is great as expected, just because Kaiju number 8 season 2 has literally come off from a bang. First, I have to address the fact that Narumi Gen, he was introduced at the end of season 1, and his design style, can I just say, like, manga fans were so upset by his design style. People like literally went off. And I think that can't remember the studio for this. IG Production said, okay, we hear you guys, we're gonna fix this. So they fixed it, and now Narumi Gen has a better design than Kafka. I don't know how that happened. I thought Kafka was the main character. He now has the best character design in the entire show of Kaiju number 8. I mean, let me know what you think, but he has the best character design in Kaiju number 8, and I don't know how that happened. Apparently, he's the main character now. I digress. So if you haven't and you're not caught up with Kaiju number 8 season 2, I'm not going to say what's been going on, but it's been extremely dramatic. It's been very tense, and apparently the latest episode today was a little bit emotional for people who are really vested in the story. Yeah, from this point going forward, I will say that things will be going at a neck-breaking pace, at least from what I remember from the manga. And I don't know if the anime, and I'm hoping that the anime does this, I don't know if the anime will like try to slow things down by adding new material. If that happens, I'm going to continue to advocate that, sure, you could read the manga, but I think the anime is doing a really good job at storytelling this with the action scenes and the animation. Like, you'll get the manga and more if you do read the manga. The only thing I will say is that I do prefer the character designs in the manga. I think that the mangaka did a really good job at like the character styles and designs of it. And I think that's a lot of what you can get out of the manga if you're really into like character design, art styles. They're a lot more edgy, and it fits the overall aspect of Kaiju number 8 more. I will say that. Saint Shade, I've not been feeling the beginning of the second season for Kaiju number 8 because it's so predictable, but I will finish season 2 and then jump to the manga. I mean, I'll be frank with you, Kaiju number 8 is kind of predictable. It's like a nice story to like watch. It's like something that you just like dive into, and it's got a relatable like MC. And I think that you kind of just enjoy it for what it is. You can't really expect a lot more out of it. Riasat, manga endings nowadays are either rushed or fumbled. I mean, here's the thing, and this is what I have to say about Kaiju number 8. I feel like overall, the story was trying to do a lot. It was trying to pack a lot in to keep readers engaged, and I'm low key gonna suspect, this is speculation, this is not what happened or anything like that. I speculate that potentially with the manga environment being so competitive now, trying to keep readers' attentions, like you do a lot to keep the reader engaged. And I think potentially, maybe they said, yeah, we got all these great ideas, we're gonna jam these in here, and then the pacing hit like the wall, and it was like, whoa, what's going on here? What happened? Do we not know how this is gonna end? Is this why like the story is pacing this way now? So yeah, I got a lot of feelings. I'm not gonna divulge all my feelings on here because then we'll be here forever as well. So two things is Dandan will be here forever, and my feelings on the direction Kaiju number 8 like ended at will also be forever on that aspect. But I do think like season number 2, it's off to a nice start. It's like it's literally like just ramping up versus like I feel like the start of season 1 was a little bit like slower. And actually, you know what? I take that back. It's the same kind of start. It's like action packed in a way. But you know, we're gonna keep going on with the season. I will say that I am excited for the rest of the numbers that they're going to reveal. So if you've been watching, they revealed a new like, I won't say a power system, but they revealed like another power dynamic to Kaiju number 8, and the rest of the numbers that they're going to introduce is really important to the story, and it gives way to the direction of the story, the rest of the direction of the story. It's just really cool. I like it. It's a great concept. But anyway, we're moving on to a very hot topic of mine and maybe others, and that's Lord of Mysteries. How many of you are watching Lord of Mysteries in the Chinese dubbing still? Because I had to like switch off to like the English dubbed. The subtitles were really hard to read. Like they were moving like at lightning pace. And it's not to say that I don't like Chinese dubbed animations, but this particular one has been really, really difficult to follow. So curious, like, how many of you are watching in Chinese dubbing still? Have you switched off to like the English dubbing? And how are you following the story? Cause I'm confused as hell. And it has improved though, but I'm gonna take a break to read some of the comments. Spencer, parents question, Mel. If it's your desire to do so, are you gonna let your child watch anime? And if so, what's the first one? I mean, yes is the answer. I would love for my kid to be able to watch anime. But which is the first one? That's a really good question because I feel like one, it needs to have an English dub. That's the very first part because they won't be able to read subtitles yet. Two, obviously it has to be child friendly. I feel like a default a lot of people say is like Studio Ghibli movies, but like I don't really love Studio Ghibli movies. Don't love them. Like some of them are really good, but some of them I don't necessarily love. So I'm gonna think on that for a little bit. I'll get back to you. Spencer, I watched like 2 episodes so far. Okay, cool. I'm gonna wait for the dub to finish to watch this one, Saint Shade. You know what? I think that's a great idea because apparently Lord of Mysteries is, and you know what? I'm gonna stick this under it's okay, and I have mixed feelings. I really don't care how much hype this has, but it has been really freaking confusing to follow. I will say that the English dubbing has made it a lot easier to follow and understand. They have, I think, like 4 episodes out right now with the English dubbing, and I've seen about 3 of them. And so far, I'm starting to understand the power system, and I'm starting to understand like how the tarot cards are involved, because when it first got introduced and I was watching it in the Chinese dubbing, I was like, what the hell does the tarot cards have to do with the nine paths? These don't seem related at all. And now I'm starting to understand that I think the tarot cards are just a club, that our main character, forgetting his name because literally I've not been immersed in this anime, he has like created, I guess, to like learn more about the world and to create maybe this secret society that we still have yet to really get involved in, from my knowledge. Maybe by episode 8 or 9, because the Chinese dubbing is way further ahead, they have gotten involved. But I will say that it's starting to make more sense. The nine paths, the power systems, how to become a beyonder, the potions, they're making more sense now. So I'm feeling better about it. Maybe I'll put it between I like it / I have mixed feelings. It's really grotesque. Like, there are many aspects of it that make me go, why am I watching this? This isn't my cup of tea in terms of like visuals. Marco said first one is AOT. AOT cannot be watched until they're like a lot older, because that thing is just crazy. It scarred me. I feel like if I wouldn't watch it at a certain age, I don't think my kids should watch at a certain age. Watakoi is really great, Ryasat, but I don't know. That one's kind of like a romance-ish comedy. I will say the comedies are like really great. I would love to introduce a comedy anime first, just because I have an affinity towards like comedy anime. But I have to think about which one. Like, Cells at Work I really love because, one, it's educational. You know what? Dr. Stone I feel like would be a good anime because it's educational. It's fun. It's not like, I don't know. It has good elements to it. Let me just say that. Anyway, so we're plugging Lord of Mysteries in between. I like it. It's good / it's okay. I have mixed feelings just due to the fact that the pacing has been like whiplash. There's not a lot of explaining going on. I hear that explanations are coming later if you're further along in the story right now, like on episode 7 or 8. People said it's starting to make sense. I have seen like some discourse in some of the like Reddit like channels. I read too much. Honestly, I read too much to get a sense as to the vibes of things. And a lot of people who are reading the web novel of Lord of Mysteries has said that like there's just more context in the web novel, which tends to be the case when something is being adapted from a web novel. So, I'm hoping this gets better. It's sitting right here. I'm not like attached to it. I wouldn't be upset if I had to drop this and everybody was watching it. I wouldn't feel any FOMO. I'm not gonna lie that before like I started prepping for this live, I was this close to dropping Lord of Mysteries. Like this close. Because it just was not doing it for me. And every time I saw like the anime in my queue to watch, like Netflix is like, Crunchyroll is like, continue watching. And I'm like, Crunchyroll, I don't know if I want to continue watching. I'm going to be real with you. Like, you should have dropped a dub side by side with this. I will take any dub aside from the Chinese dub because it's just too fast to read along to. And the power system is complex and the storytelling is complex. And if you know me, I like a complex story, but I don't like it when it's this complex and there's no context. Chol says, I have only watched the first episode for Lord. All right, so, what are people's thoughts? For those of you who are watching, like, are you confused like me? Are you enjoying it? Like, the animation is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I can't watch something with just beautiful animation and not understand what's going on. If that's the case, I might as well watch a silent animation and then call it a day. I wonder if you guys can hear me when I drink water. Curious, because I feel like I am a loud snacker and a loud slurper, as well as a loud talker. All right, cool. But yeah, I'm going to get off my soapbox on that aspect because I just really don't know. Saint Shit said, fair enough, but I just want to see what the hype is about. I agree with you. I think that's the only reason I haven't dropped it, is because people were raving about this. And don't get me wrong, I don't like to buy into any hypes because, personally speaking, whenever there's a hype around an anime or the hype around the story, I feel like I am much much more likely to dislike it. I don't know. Maybe that's what you call a hater. But I am much more likely to dislike it because you've hyped it up for me. You've basically distorted my expectations and now I can't enjoy it. Marco, do you recommend reading the manga for Dandadan after season 2 or should I wait for season 3 to air? Okay, so earlier I was saying that if you are watching the anime of Dandadan, I think you should just read it from the beginning because you're going to enjoy the art. The art in the action illustrated is like chef's kiss. It's you should just read it from the beginning and you can read it side by side with the anime if you want. How do I explain this? Like the arc that's coming, I feel like season 3 is, excuse me, one of the most like action-packed arcs and probably one of my favorite arcs, top 3 arcs in the manga. So you can wait if you want, but I think that you should read it from the beginning, Marco, and just like enjoy the story side by side with the anime, just because the experiences are completely different. Like Science Saru has this nice, clean art style, and then Dandadan, it's just got this wonderful illustration and detail to it that you will enjoy both in 2 different regards. Ria said, I've watched LOTM, like Lord of the Mysteries, and hella confused. Yeah, look, it's not just me. It's not just me. There's a lot of people online that are super confused. And like, I've seen some people comment where it's like, wow, the animation is great. Wow, the action was fantastic. Still confused, but I'm just along for the ride. Anyway, we're moving on. My Dress Up Darling. My Dress Up Darling has been so great. It's been so great. Can I just say that, like, I wasn't expecting to love season 2 of My Dress Up Darling just because season 1 was very, like, you know, it was cool. It was fun. It was a romance. You know, there was a lot of fan service, not like distasteful fan service, but like it was good. And I liked the relationship that was developing between Gojo and Marin, right? I have been loving season 2 so much just because one, the animation got an upgrade. Did you guys notice that? The animation got an upgrade. It's lovely. Like, I love how much more fluid it is. It feels fluid. That's what it is. Saint Shade, that's exactly what I'm doing for Dandadan right now. Good for you. I mean, look, if you're watching Dandadan, you should just read it side by side. I'm not going to tell you to pick it up like after a certain season. You should just read it side by side because you're going to get a full experience out of that. All right. Marco. Also, Okarun's character design is so different than the manga. Yeah, like I said, Science Saru makes it a lot cleaner. It makes it a lot cleaner. Look, you guys, I could talk about Dandadan for days. We could do a stream just about Dandadan and the differences between the anime and the manga if you want. But anyway, yes, it is just like really nice. The designs are very different. I think that for that reason, just read it side by side. Don't do like halfway. Don't do like, after a certain season. Just start from the beginning and read it up until the point that you want. You read it up until the point like what the anime is at. You could read it like all the way like to the end. There's 200 plus chapters now. So whatever you want to do. I just think that it's a completely different experience. So I'm going to continue to advocate for the fact that you should always, not always, but for Dandadan's situation, you should read and watch it. I'm going to say do both. Derek says that My Dress Up Darling has leveled up this season. Cloverworks is 3 for 3 with romance this season. Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not watching this one. Not going to get the name. I'm sorry. I'm not going to get the name because I'm not watching it. I'm pissed that I'm not watching it because Netflix said, nah, we're not going to air it at the same time like as Japan. We're going to wait until September 7th until we have all the dubbing in order. Like, yeah. Anyway, we're moving on. So continuing with My Dress Up Darling, Riasat says Cloverworks is making bank with all these romances. They really are. And you know what? Good for them. I mean, they're also doing Windbreaker, but they're diversifying their stuff, right? Joe, hey, yes, I'm soft back. This is soft lunch, you know? We're trying to ease our way back into this. So we'll make our way back to like content creating, full content creating. I watched the first season for Dress Up Darling in a day and then picked up the manga. Wow, Joel, you really enjoyed it that much, huh? And the manga is done, which is fantastic. So you can enjoy it to its entirety. I heard that they released an epilogue chapter at the same time that season 2 dropped. So I'm sure like fans were looking forward to both the anime and oh my god, and the manga's like epilogue chapter. But anyway, My Dress Up Darlings, My Dress Up Darling season 2 has been really good. It has been like really enjoyable. I've been enjoying like the different, I guess you could say, like direction it's going in because season 1 was very fan servicey. It was an ode to like cosplay a little bit more, and I feel like we're seeing a more emotional side to My Dress Up Darling, which it has me really invested now. I cannot wait to see how this season ends. Um, my Dress Up Darling has been really good. Marco says, I've been watching the dubbed on this one, but I really like that we're getting more classmate interactions this season, especially with Marin's friends. I agree. I mean, that very first episode for My Dress Up Darling was really good. The ending was really funny. When they asked, like, hey, are you guys going out? That really got me, especially that very last scene, that, like comedy scene that they had. It's just been like more like heavy on like the relationship building. I feel like we've been getting more sides of Gojo this season versus like season 1. I felt like it was more about like Marin and getting to know like her interests. This season has been just overall more comedic. Like that birthday episode, I don't know if anyone's seen that episode. I'm not going to say more than that, but that birthday episode was the epitome of a weeb moment. That was the epitome of a weeb moment, and I'm not going to lie, like I want that for me. I want to be able to celebrate like an anime character's birthday to the extent that Marin did, because it looked like fun. Gojo looked super confused. He kind of looked a little horrified. If I was like introduced to anime and anime characters' birthdays like that, I'd probably be horrified too. But honestly, Marin is just like the embodiment of like the anime person sometimes that I just can't help but like love more and more of My Dress Up Darling for that reason. Um, My Dress Up Darling season 2 is a binge for me, so I'm waiting for it to finish. I mean, that's a good idea because waiting for it week to week, I'm not gonna lie, whenever I know a Dress Up Darling episode is gonna drop, I like run for it. I haven't seen the one for today because we've been prepping for this live, but I'm telling you, like as soon as I'm done with this, I'm probably gonna take the opportunity to watch it because it's just been so good. Like I'm I'm enjoying it just as much as Dandadan. As a Dandadan super fan, for me to say that, it's just like a lot of outrageous. That's how much like I am loving My Dress Up Darling. But I digress. I'll take any version of Mel being back. I'm trying, I mean, as you know, Joe, having kids and creating content and doing regular life is kind of difficult. So I'm going to just say kudos to you because I only have one. I don't know how you do it. I really don't know how you do it. Um, Derek says Windbreaker in spring, Three Romances in summer, and Spy Family in the fall. Yes, Cloverworks is in full throttle. Nice thing about Spy Family is Cloverworks is also doing that with Wit Studios, so they're able to balance that. Yes, Riasat, it is crazy. That's a crazy amount of work. I will say that. Derek says, I love the anime within an anime we see in My Dress Up Darling. Yes, they did that in like a Witch Watch episode. They like created a whole anime episode in the anime, and I was really confused. Like I had to check the anime real quick to make sure that I wasn't watching the wrong anime. It was like 12 minutes of an anime within Witch Watch, like that the characters were watching. And I was like, hold up a second, did I make a mistake? And then I checked the episode and it said Witch Watch and it said the number. And I said, yeah, this is the latest one. And then I was like, did Crunchyroll make a mistake? Is this the wrong anime? And then when the anime episode ended in the anime, I was like, whoa, that was really meta. And I do like the fact that like My Dress Up Darling did a similar thing. I'm like, you guys are just like playing games with anime fans at this point, but I'm loving it. Preston, I feel like I never see you. So, welcome to the live. I feel like it's because I usually choose Sundays, but due to life circumstances, we're doing it on a random Saturday in the middle of the day. I am soft back, Preston. I am soft back. This is not full back. We're soft launching me right now. Anyway, but yes, My Dress Up Darling has been really great. If you're waiting to watch season 2, I mean, hold on to it because you're going to enjoy it in a binge. But like, I also been enjoying it week to week. I will say that I think Joe and Preston were doing a Life with Anime podcast, and we were talking about like summer anime that was coming up and we'll be watching. And this one, Night of the Living Cat, yeah, that got dropped already. I watched an episode and a half, and I didn't like the way that they were animating stuff. Like, I just didn't like the animation. And then it was the same gag over and over again. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I didn't like it. And I thought, I need sleep. I don't have time to catch up on some of the anime that I have. I still need to figure out what I want to do with Lord of Mysteries, if I want to drop that or keep that. So, you know what? I'm just going to, like, due to the overwhelmingness and due to just, like, some very simple factors, I just dropped it. I don't know if anyone's watching it. I'm going to be really, really plain and simple about it. I made a sacrifice because I don't think it was worth my time anymore. Marco says My Dress Up Darling adapts the chapters of the manga, but not chronologically, which is interesting for Clover from Cloverworks. Wait, that's weird. Why? Why? Now I want to read the manga. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why do they do that? Like, do you think there's a reason behind why they're not doing it chronologically and they're just doing it out of order? Is it like for the sake of storytelling? Would you say the storytelling is better in the anime or the manga? Now I'm like really curious. All right. I'll wait to see if you respond to that. But if not, I'm just going to read the manga and figure it out. Okay. Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. I was behind on this because I hadn't seen one of the movies. So I had to watch one of the movies first before I could watch the latest season. Because as you know, there was like my Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Senpai. That's season 1. And then there's 3 films in between. And they're all like canon. So you have to watch them to understand what happens in Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. And if you've never heard of this anime before, it's a whole supernatural anime based on puberty syndrome. So like just having like anxiety and doubts and things like that, just basically going through puberty and like what people experience in puberty. And then it goes to an extreme where like you experience supernatural stuff. So in the very first season, the girl you see here, Mai, she is going through puberty syndrome and she becomes basically invisible to the point that she walks through the library in a bunny suit, if you haven't seen it. And the only person that's able to see her is Sakuta, our main character. And that's because he's also experienced puberty syndrome via his sister. So he's very, very prone to attracting people who have puberty syndrome. So this whole concept of Rascal Does Not Dream series is Sakuta's experiences with a bunch of mostly women who experience puberty syndrome, and he kind of like helps them like through their syndromes. Now he's in college, which is what Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus is about. So I'm just gonna plug this where I like it. Is it I like it? Yes, I like it. It's good. This season, actually, I'm gonna say in between here because this season has been like better than previous seasons or movies. Like I've been enjoying it a little bit more. I've been a little bit more invested. And I don't know if it's because this like Santa Claus that he's the only one that's able to see, similar to season 1, is like very different from Mai, where Mai just wants to be seen. This girl, she cannot be seen, but she takes it to an extreme, so much so like it's kind of malicious, and it causes puberty syndrome to go haywire at the college that Sakuta goes to. So now there's like all these different problems that are like going haywire at his college and the people that he knows or people that he's familiar with. So I like the direction that this particular season is going in. Yeah, Riasa, I do really enjoy like these series of like Rascal Does Not Dream. It's really hard to explain this because there's like this concept to it that's like kind of confusing, but I don't know, it's fun because it's like the mysterious aspect of this series is what like draws me in. Like, yes, there's a romance element to it, which Derek was talking to you about earlier. Cloverworks working on this as well, but I really love like the supernatural mystery aspect. That's what has me vested in the Rascal series, because it's like, what is this puberty syndrome? What kind of symptoms are people going to develop? And like, you know, how is Sakuta going to essentially like help these people resolve their issues. Okay, going back to My Dress Up Darling, Marco says that in the manga, if you picked up after season 1, it starts off with Marin meeting the guy that cosplays as a female character, while in the anime, it's when Gojo and Marin are watching the anime together. Oh, interesting. I wonder why they did that. Maybe because there was too much time between season 1 and season 2, because I feel like it's been 3 to 4 years since the launch of season 1, maybe even longer. Yeah, I don't know. Good question. That's interesting. Now I kind of want to read it. Derek says, I love Rascal Does Not Dream. The release for the series has been chaotic for people. Also, 5 hours later, and Crunchyroll is still slow on the release of the episode. I heard there's no like subtitles. Is it that there's no episode or there's no subtitles for like the Japanese like dubbing? That's the part that I'm confused about. So it's a good thing that, I haven't watched any of my Saturday anime yet. Riasat, if you like Rascal, check out the Monogatari series. The Monogatari series has kind of been like on my radar because I've heard some interesting things about it. So I want to check it out. I feel like it might be my cup of tea just from the vibes I get from it. Marco says, I've waited to watch Rascal for years because it didn't have a dub. Yo, that hurts. Wow. Okay, that's really painful. Yeah. See, this is the like sad part about like anime that doesn't get as much attention, because I feel like people talk about the Rascal series, but they don't talk about it like that, and because of that, these anime don't get dubs, and then you leave a bunch of people in the dark and shit out of luck on the anime. It's kind of shitty in that regard. Yeah. Sad face. All right. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. The supernatural, the mystery. I feel a little bit more vested in this season just because I feel like there's much more complexities and like maybe antagonism going on in this season versus previous seasons or previous like the movies. It's been like, all right, we have a problem, let's solve it. What's the problem? This is the problem. This is the symptom. This is the syndrome. This is like what they're experiencing and why they're causing it. Let's solve it. Whereas this is like, whoa, okay, what's with Santa Claus? This woman in a Santa Claus miniskirt, like, what's her deal? What's her vibe? Why is she invisible? And why is she like not nice? Which is very interesting because you would think in a Santa Claus suit you'd need to be nice. I don't know. It's like a naughty Santa, not in the sexual way. Okay, I'm moving on. Getting sidetracked. All right, Sakamoto Days. Can I just say that I'm going to put it in between here because Sakamoto Days Season 2 is better than I expected. After a not like loved Season 1 from my behalf, they have really upped the animation in Season 2. Is it just me? Do other people see the same thing? Because I'm feeling like they upgraded the animation a little bit. I'm going to say this mostly when they introduced Takamura. I was like, whoa, something feels different here. And I will say that also I was going to be very upset if they didn't animate like Takamura scenes properly. And they have been doing a wonderful job. I am very happy with the production of, I guess it's not Season 2, it's Part 2, Season 1. They have been doing a great job. And it sucks because, a lot of people dropped Season 1 just because it was very lackluster. It was very slice of lifey and they cut a lot of stuff out. They just like didn't do Season 1 right, but they did Season 2 a lot better. Like, I'm enjoying it so much more. Okay. Marco says, I need to catch up on Sakamoto Days. Season 2 has been notably better. Derek says Sakamoto Days wins award for comeback player of the year. It has been great. Yes, it does. It really does. It had the biggest like upgrade to like what we experienced with Season 1 and in between seasons. Nina says, hi, Nina. Sakamoto Days is better in Season 2. It really, really is. Ria said Sakamoto Days is all right. Sakamoto, I read the manga after watching this season. Okay, so you're saying Sakamoto Days overall is a story is all right, or like is the anime all right versus like the manga? Curious. Saint Shade says the manga is still better. 100% agree with you. The manga is like miles better. Miles better. It's like no comparison. The like slow motion scenes still, I don't like them. I realized what I didn't like about the animation overall about Sakamoto Days, and it's the slow motion scenes because they're trying to capture like the essence of the manga where you've got like these really dynamic scenes in one panel, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we should do this in slow motion." And I'm like, "Nah, this doesn't look right in slow motion. Just animate it thoroughly and properly. Like stop still framing it like this." Nonetheless, the manga definitely miles better. If you like Sakamoto Days, go read the manga. Go read the manga. Jiraiya says, Mel, you don't even want to know where I'm at on the Sakamoto Days manga. I'm so far behind. I mean, I'd be curious. I would be curious to know. Because it's entered its final arc. Sakamoto Days is in its final arc for the manga. And it has just gone completely haywire. It's just gone completely haywire, but I'm living for it. I'm living for the chaos. It's so good. Preston says Sakamoto Days season 2 is better, but still agree. Yeah, the manga is just like a lot better. But you know, it upgraded. I enjoyed seeing Takamura. I'm excited for the next episode because, you know, people who are surfing the seas to watch Sakamoto Days because we're one episode behind Japan. The episode on the airplane is the episode that I've been waiting for. If they don't do the airplane right, I'm going to be upset because that is quite possibly one of my favorite fight sequences in the whole entirety of the manga. Because that plane fight had no business being had in any shape whatsoever. All right. Here's a favorite. This is a seasonal favorite. I'm glad that it's only a 16 chapter manga and a 6 episode anime because I don't know how much I can watch this. I feel like I kind of went into this blind. Like I knew that this wasn't like Rainbows and Sunshine. I knew that it was going to be sad. But I will say, while watching this and now being a new parent, this shit broke me. And it kind of scared me a little bit. And it hurt a lot to watch. For those of you who have not watched Takopi's Original Sin, please note, and the anime will tell you almost at every single episode, that there is a lot of triggering material. So if you can't watch things like that, I don't suggest that you watch this. Like, they suggest, you know, that I'm just going to say there's a lot of things. I'm not even going to say it. You should just, if you really want to watch it, you should watch it. But don't watch it if you're, like, sensitive to, like, trigger-ish materials, because this hurt a lot to watch. Derek says, binge Takopi in a day. That sounds like a mistake. It was heavy, but very well written, extremely well written. You know, there's always a thematic thing amongst anime and manga that's really short. Because they're so short, I feel like they're able to like condense the story in a wonderful manner that most people will enjoy it. The more that a story is drawn out, the more that it has so many chapters, the more that it's just like endlessly going, the more prone that we are all to be disappointed. I'm just going to say it right there. But I think Takopi being like so short was good because the material was way too heavy, and it was able to get us the messaging in a short amount of time and still be impactful. I think that's amazing story writing in itself. You could have really long anime that's amazing story writing, like One Piece, for those of you who read, or you could have amazing story writing in this context as well. But I will say it's definitely like a contender for like top anime of the year for me, just because the material is crazy good. Like, it's really, really good. Takopi, Sauriasat says, Takopi gave me Made in the Abyss vibes. See, that's one I will not watch. I will not watch Made in Abyss. I have read enough about like Made in Abyss, like just the vibe of it. It's not for me. It's got content material in it that I don't think I'm comfortable with. Like, I wouldn't be able to read it or watch it in any shape whatsoever. So that one's going to live on the shelf with Berserk. Never reading, never watching. Don't ask me. Okay, we're moving on. Jiraiya, I'm still on chapter 50. I haven't read since the last message I put in the Discord. That's okay. Take your time. Especially considering that it's coming to an end, so maybe it's a good one to like binge, right? Riasat said that it's was traumatic AF to watch. Yes. I feel like if you didn't like almost cry watching Takopi's Original Sin, I mean, maybe you should check like your sympathy and empathy radar. That was like some heavy stuff. Really, like, I feel like it would move anybody. It would move anybody. Saint Shade, I guess going back to Sakamoto days, I've seen the plane fight and it was done great in the anime. Okay, I'm happy to hear that because, you know, like, there were some things that I was going into season 2 being like, if they don't do Takamura Sensei right, I mean Takamura, and if they don't do the airplane right, I'll drop the anime and just be a manga only fan. I'll drop the anime. Takopi is very heavy. Saint Shade says Takopi is my favorite this season. Yeah, it's definitely top 3 for the season. Definitely. I agree with you on that aspect. Nina says we watched this in the Life with Anime podcast Discord, and I felt like there was some missing context in the last episode or two. Okay, so I will say that for sure, like the last episode of Takopi's Original Sin, I would have enjoyed it much more if they made the connection between the two girls like a little bit more stronger, like between Shizuka and Marina, like because they both had encounters with Takopi in different timelines. I wish that they made it like a lot more definitive, and that I feel like that would have gave it like a little bit more meaning. Like the fact that it just like dawned on them and then they connected was super weird. I will say like that's the part I feel like I was missing, and I don't know if that's the same for you, Nina, or anybody else who's seen like Takopi in like the last episode of it or just its entirety. Yeah. Preston says anime of the year. Yeah. Takopi was crazy. Yes, Joe. I don't care about anime of the year, but I feel you. I mean, it was really good. It's just really good writing material. I'm just gonna say that. Joe says I still need to watch Made in Abyss. I applaud people who watch and read Made in Abyss. I don't think I can. I really don't think I can. The material is very like, it seems very triggering from what I've like seen. Takopi should be in talks of anime of the year. Okay, I can say that for sure. I don't know if it is anime of the year, but it should be in the talks with anime of the year. So we're just gonna go with that. But yeah, that's my piece on Sakamoto Days though. Manga is better. Season 2 is improved way more than season 1, and maybe that's just due to the fact that the storytelling gets more clear after season 1. Like the storytelling now is just clear. You know who the antagonist is, you know what the objective is, and the story just continues forward in a linear format, and it's not confusing anymore. Moving on. The summer Hikaru died. So I've got like some things to say about the summer Hikaru died. I'm just gonna say that I love it. It's not that I didn't expect to love it this. Actually, maybe I didn't expect to love it this much. So I will say that before watching the summer Hikaru died, I had it on my read list. When I saw I was getting an animation, I said, I should read something. I should read a few chapters. I read, I think, about 10 chapters. I don't know how many chapters there are at this point. There was 28 chapters last I checked, and this was last year. And, I mean, it's chilling. I don't know if you're watching the summer Hikaru died, but it's chilling because you've got Yoshiki, whose friend died, in the winter, and this is what I want to talk about real quick. He died technically in the winter time, but the stage of the story right now that we're watching in the anime is during the summer. Like clearly we can tell summer festival, fireworks, is hot, they're eating ice cream. They make an emphasis that this is during the summer, but that the original Hikaru died in the winter time when he went up into the mountains 6 years prior to what we're seeing when we're seeing the story happen. But I'll come back to like that mention there. It has been chilling. I like the fact that they really do justice to the manga and then some, because the manga has this very realistic component to it. I don't know if you've noticed that some of the scenes look like too real, like they look real. Like the trees, the forest, they're real. And then you have it like mixed in with like animation. And the facial expressions are very fluid. They feel very human, which is creepy because Hikaru is not human, right? I mean, if you haven't seen the anime, you've seen the trailer, then I mean, I'm not spoiling anything for you. But he's not human. He's something. I don't know what that something is. It's question mark. It looks alienish. People say it's a spirit in like it's a malicious spirit because they all live in the village. This village is filled with mysteries and superstitions and creepy things that go bump in the night and exorcists and things like that. So like there's got to be some lore to this village that they've kind of been touching upon, but it's just been like really chilling. The last episode that I watched, not the episode that dropped today, the previous one, where somebody else found out that Hikaru is not Hikaru, I literally went, oh my god, what's gonna happen to this person? Please, fake Hikaru, don't kill them. Please don't take them out. I was like scared for this person's life. And I was like, wow, they're really like playing on one's fears here. They're playing on one's fears here. It's just like, anyway. But this story has been really good. It has been really good. It's been very captivating. It's the kind of horror that I can get behind because it's not like horror. It like plays on the psychology a little bit, but also it's gross and creepy. It has like a ghost element without it being too ghosty. So I will say, like, I like this kind of horror. It's not like grotesque. It's not like super horrifying where I'm gonna have nightmares at night. It is just really good at like playing on somebody's mind, especially as you see Yoshiki, who knows that this Hikaru is fake, has a bond with him, you know, the original Hikaru, romantically, if people haven't noticed. And like he just doesn't want to like get away from him. And I've seen this in other places, and I don't know if any people have noticed, so it's not my original idea, but there's definitely a suspension bridge effect going on between Yoshiki and fake Hikaru. Why was I playing with that? I just dropped it. And it's like, this is your best friend. This is someone you had feelings for. They're dead. They're gone. And you don't know what to do, but you're happy they're back in some formats. But it's not really him because he has these moments where he breaks the Hikaru character, and it's like, whoa, reminder, this is not Hikaru. This is something else, not someone else, something else. And it's taken over his body, it's taken over his memories, and he's trying to be Hikaru. It's like really fucked up in that concept. And this is what I want to draw back to. So Yoshiki has known for a while that this is not Hikaru. Hikaru died in the winter, but this show and this story, the manga, is called The Summer Hikaru Died. And there's an episode where they touch upon like a person's existence, okay? And what it means to be like that person, or what it means to be dead, essentially. And it was just like, it kind of dawned on me that maybe the reason that this is called The Summer Hikaru Died is because, one, Yoshiki kind of like mentions it to him, like, hey, I know you're not him. And now he starts to break the Hikaru character in many instances, like for real now. And he starts to become, I guess, or he starts to reveal who he really is or what he really is. And for that reason, I think that it's actually called The Summer Hikaru Died because the idea, the essence, and who Hikaru is, especially to Yoshiki and some of the other characters who realize that this is not Hikaru, this is what really kills him, I guess you could say, is that the idea and the concept of him is actually gone now. It's actually dead now because they tried to let him live as the shell that he was with this embodiment in him, but it's not him. He's a creepy alien spirit thing that took over Hikaru's body, and he's always like 1 inch away from killing you, even though he says he doesn't want to kill you, because in reality, it seems like it's this thing's essence to like eat people or devour people. We don't really know because that hasn't been like clear. It's like always been like a little bit ambiguous. Anyway, Riasat says this season overall has been better than last season in terms of anime. I agree. Soft. Springs was very soft, super soft. Like I didn't enjoy it that much, to be honest. There was very few anime that I like really loved. I will say that To Be Hero X, hold on. To Be Hero X has been like the carrier and was the carrier for spring. And like that was the only thing that I was like raving about in the spring, and then it carried on into summer. Can I just say that like at the point that we're at, no spoilers for To Be Hero X, I need a rewatch. Once this is done, I need a rewatch because they just dropped like the lore bomb galore in like episode 19, and I said, what the hell is going on here? What is going on here? Someone please explain to me. And you just have to be able to piece the timeline together properly in 2B Hero X because oops, they just went ham on all these different characters, like connecting the story. I feel like the story just came full circle. Like with 2B Hero X from episode 1 to 19, I'm like, it makes sense now. I feel like that guy with the chalkboard with all the like math equations and stuff like that, I'm like, I feel like it makes sense now. Holy crap. Anyway, Luigi, hi. The eyes. It's the eyes. Are you talking about Hikaru's eyes? Curious on that part because I feel like I just talked a lot. I went from Hikaru to Be Hero X, but back to Hikaru. Hikaru has been like very enjoyable, good horror. I like it. Saint Shade said, I've not seen this one, but it's on my list to watch now. Yay! I think it's a must watch for the summer. Actually, there's a lot of must watches, but and I guess this is why this live is called Too Many Good Anime, because there really is such thing as too many good anime. You're just like, do you have the time? Do you have the time? I don't have the time. I'm trying to find the time. I don't got the time. I'm really trying hard, and you'll see in a minute. I'm trying to add more, and I'd like your input on that. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard out here, and the list just gets longer and longer. Nina, the friend finding out had me scared too. Yes, I was like, please don't take this girl out. Please don't take her out. You saw the eyes. Actually, yes, I see that's what you're referring to. Yeah, Luigi. Now that I see you say yes, the eyes. The eyes, like when they turned, they got me, man. They got me. I was like, this is horrible. This is horrible. It's scaring the crap out of me, man. Like, they scare the crap out of you in the most subtle ways. I think it's the suspenseful ways that they scare the crap out of you. It's not like the horrifying grotesque. That's the way I could describe it. It's the suspenseful ways that they scare the crap out of you, because it's like you really don't know what this Hikaru is gonna do next. Mr. Music Major says, I'm like 8 episodes behind on To Be Hero X. I'm catching up next week though. Catch up. I mean, to be honest, like you should let them stack up, because the way that To Be Hero X's story is going, I feel like it's better as a binge because of the way the characters are connecting than watching it week to week. Because I kid you not, like I am thinking back to like episode 1, and I'm like, maybe I should have just watched this in one fell swoop, because something is not connecting here. Like, people were confused online. People were like, is this the old Isol or is this a new Isol? Like, how do the different characters look? Like, which Nice is that? Something is wrong here. And because I think someone can confirm, because the very first character that we get introduced to technically is Ling Ling and Nice, but Ling Ling technically because Nice unalived himself in the first few seconds of the episode. We can definitively say that that arc is set in the present, and every single character arc that we get after that is the past, according to that first arc. And because of that, it's really confusing because it's not really told in a linear past manner. It's not. Everything is kind of like pieces all over the place. So some things are older than others, and then the next arc is like newer than that. Then the next arc is older than the previous arc, but newer than the arc before that. So the timeline is confusing enough to the point where people are questioning who's who and what's what. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that. Marco, are you watching Infinity Castle early with Crunchyroll early screening? They're offering it to members. I did see that. I haven't had the time to think about that. I'm going to be real with you because that happens in September and I'm still in a influx period. So, I'm going to take my time with going to see that in theaters. I know people will spoil it online, and to be honest, I quite frankly don't care anymore because uh Demon Slayer being broken into three parts of movies is kind of upsetting for me. Like, I how long do I have to wait? This year is 2025. I have to wait until 2027 to see the end of this, and Demon Slayer started in 2019. There were way too many movies in between slash reanimations of movies for me to care anymore. Anyway, Luigi says Hikaru, the eyes are so scary and realistic. Yes, that's the thing that I like most about like the summer Hikaru died. They blend this realism into like the anime and in the manga that it gives it like a little bit more of like this chill because you almost feel like it's real. It's real. Joe says, yeah, I'm gonna rewatch when it's done. I haven't watched the last 2 to 3 episodes. You need to watch the last 2 to 3 episodes, but you could wait till it's done because I feel like you'll be able to like connect the dots a little bit better. Like you said, it's jumping around so much, but when you hit episode 19, like let me know because I think everyone had the same reaction. Like that week that episode, everyone had the same reaction, and it was WTF, essentially WTF, because they just ended it right there, and they were like, "Wow, I gotta wait till episode 20. This kind of sucks." I haven't caught up on To Be Hero X because Joe destroyed my TV for not mopping the floors. Okay, Marco, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Saint Shade says To Be Hero X is definitely better on binge. Yeah, but I've also enjoyed the weekly experience. The weekly experience is good. Ria sat at this point, just read the manga for Demon Slayer. That's what my husband told me. He read the manga ages ago. And to be honest, I thought I was going to read it too. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait till they finish it because if you told me it's only like, I think 200 chapters or less, I might as well wait. I think it's less than that. I think they'll finish it quickly. Oh, was I wrong? Was I so wrong? I should have just read it then and then. There and then. And I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, my mistake. My mistake. Nina, I'm glad I read and finished reading Demon Slayer. I don't feel the need to watch these damn movies they keep pushing. Yo, no, seriously, because I'm like, how much is it to go to a movie theater nowadays? It's like $30, right? And I'm just like, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to do that in this economy right now? I don't really think so. Like, I just want to like sit in my cozy home with my sound system and my TV and a blanket and my own food and just watch it on the TV. Anyway, yeah, it upsets me. At this point, just drop Mid Slayer. I mean, it's not mid to me, but yeah, I'm really upset that this is the production like path that it took. Hey Aaron, how are you? Welcome to the live. Thanks for joining. Yeah. Anyway, moving along. All right, we're finishing this up. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, Season 2, Part 2, because, again, the way things are broken up and split, like, lately with anime is so crazy and confusing. Like, can't we just, like, call this Season 3, or can we just, like, make everything together? I don't understand, like, production releases anymore. Like, none of it makes sense to me anymore. It's giving me a headache now. This is, great as expected, / it's good. I like it. It's in between. Only because reading the manga, I anticipated a lot of what was coming. They're animating it exactly as the manga has been going. Obviously, the art style for the anime is like, as I've gotten into the manga, it's been like softer than the manga. I mean, as I've gotten into the manga, the anime's, God, twisting up my words. All I'm going to say is the art style for the manga is a lot creepier than the anime. So anyway, it gives this current part a lot more edge and creepy factors to it. But I will say that this part of Hanako-kun, like the second part for the Season 2, is continuing to increase the creep factor, the messed up factors of Hanako, because Season 1 is like real cute, real soft, not really that creepy, and it's kind of just like, oh, it's the soft supernatural show and all the characters are high school characters even though they look tiny and cute. It's just cute, right? You think it's cute. And then season 2 starts and they reveal all this crazy shit like Nene is going to die. And it's like, huh, how did we get this far? We just went from like a really cute anime to like our MC is going to die. And now that we've started part 2 of season 2, it's getting darker because now we're talking about human sacrifices and someone's lifespan passing on to another person's lifespan. And I will say that the story only gets darker from here. It only gets darker from here. Luigi, Hanako fucked me up with the last episode. It's so good. Yeah. It's like messed up. You don't expect it, but it's messed up in all sorts of ways because of that. And to be honest, I really don't know what to say aside from the fact that it's not as cute as like the art style gives. There's a lot of dark elements, and I'm enjoying that it's continuing to take that path, and it's gonna just get creepier as we go along, but you know, still embody this cute characterness, which is, it's like a dichotomy in the brain. Your brain's like, oh, the characters are so cute, oh, they're wonderful, this must be a cute anime, and it's like, oh, these kids are dying. Yeah, this is not as cute as you think it is, and it's the real supernatural element that you would expect from like a ghost anime. I mean, I don't know. It's good though. I like it. It's great. So great as expected in between. So also I like it. It's good because I kind of expected some of it. Yeah, Preston, it's dark. It's not dark like that. I'm gonna be real with you. It's not like the Summer Hikaru died dark, and it's not Takubi dark, but it's like dark in the sense that it kind of catches you off guard because they're cute characters. But the like essence of the show was not supposed to be this dark for these cute characters. But the development of the story is going to progress way further and a little bit harder because we're at a point where we're at the last like ghost, the last like seventh wonder of the school. So like what happens from here? Well, what happens from here is that shit starts to fall apart, and I fall apart in a literal sense. But we'll get there when we get there. No spoilers. All right, last one. Tougen Anki. I was really close to like dropping this. It currently lives in a little bit more of it's okay / I have mixed feelings than I like it, it's good. I only started to like it like after episode 4 because, to be honest, it really reminds me of Blue Exorcist, which I enjoy much more than this. I don't really like comparing anime, but they just feel very alike. They feel very alike. And my problem with this is that I don't like the main character that much. There are a lot of like hothead characters out there, like in the anime universe. Like it's a trope, you know, it's a main character trope. They're angry, they're angsty, they do things their own way. But like there's something about this main character that I just like don't like very much. And maybe it's because, you know, he just lacks a lot of substance. And I get it. It's the beginning of the anime. There's not much to it. Saint Shade, not gonna lie, I dropped this one after the second episode. It was this close to being here. Trust me, it was this close to being here. I think the only reason I kept going was the fact that was me. I was just like, you know what? I just like want to see what this is about. And something stubborn in me was like, I just want to see what this is about. People seem to enjoy this. There must be a reason why people enjoy this. And you know what? It's fun. It's just fun to watch. There's something like just fun about it. I don't really love the CGI action. It's not great. And I'm not an animation snob. Trust me, not an animation snob at all, because there's a lot of anime that I've seen that have terrible CGI, but I enjoy the anime. So to be super frank, it's not the animation entirely, but the animation is pretty bad in conjunction with the fact that the main character is kind of dull. But you know, it's just like fun to watch along to. Maybe I'll drop it. I'll be honest. Maybe I will drop it if I just like, I'm just not feeling it one week. I think if the next episode's not that great, I'm just going to be like, out the window you go. Don't have time for you. Thank you very much for your time. We're done. Luigi, Tougen Anki with the body positivity, Levi Titani carries the show though. Yes, the Levi character, Levi S character, what is it, the teacher, the sensei? I like him. Actually, that's probably the first reason I'm continuing to watch this. And then the second reason is my stubbornness, that I always try to watch 6 episodes of an anime before I say I'm going to drop it or not, with the exception of this one. With the exception of that one. Notably, that's my rule. My rule of thumb is I give things 6 episodes because there are anime that have flipped on a dime in the 5th episode, they flipped on a dime in the 6th episode, they flipped on a dime in the 4th episode. So I really try to give things like halfway through a season to really like drop something, cuz things really turn on you sometimes. You really don't know what you're going to get. But this one kind of lives there with the possibility of being dropped any day because it's hanging by a thread. It's literally hanging by a thread. I don't think it's like something that I want to like invest my time in, to be super frank. Riasat says Togen Anki gives me Blue Exorcist Demon Slayer vibes. Yeah, it like gives Blue Exorcist vibes, but like Blue Exorcist actually like makes me feel more emotional. Maybe because like there's more character depth and emotion. Like when they killed the father, I was just like, oh, he's dead. I feel nothing. Like nothing. Because we didn't get like any emotion. You know what I mean? Like he was emotional, but it was just like, this is not the emotion I thought I'd get. This feels very bland. But anyway, so I'm now going to transition because something has been brought up in the chat, which I'd like to talk about because with the anime that I'm low-key ready to drop, that has been dropped already. Night of the Living Cat, that's gone. It's dead. This one, Borderline, we're going to drop this one, this Togen Anki. And Lord of Mysteries. Again, confusing as hell. If someone who is watching and never read the web novel before, never read any of the previous material, and can tell me that it's not confusing, I would love to talk to that person. Please call me. Please hit me up because I am hella confused. And I have a problem with that. Anyway, Marco, have you read MHA manga? If so, did you think the ending was good or bad? If not, are you excited for the last season? I'm going to answer this in reverse, maybe. I am excited for the last season. I have not read the manga, so I don't know about the ending. I've seen people gripe about the ending. To be super frank, I think that, like I said earlier, the longer an anime or a manga goes on for, the more people are more likely to disapprove of the ending. So I'm just gonna see. But because people are bringing it up in the chat, let's talk about this. Because I'm ready to drop some anime, I'd like to add some new ones to my list. And one of them that's on there is Clevates. Someone help me pronounce that. I don't know. I don't know if that's the pronunciation. I have seen good things about it. My ick for this is that it seems like a fantasy, and where I sit with fantasies. So I need some help today in figuring out like which anime I should pick up. There's a few here. So Clevates, Let's Go Karaoke. I heard this only has 5 episodes, so I might pick this up just because it's short. Ruri Rocks, because I love a good science show. And then this last one, I think it's called With You and the Rain. Yeah, With You and the Rain. It's not isekai. Okay, so Joe says it's not isekai, but it is fantasy. Okay, I can be okay with an isekai. So maybe I'll pick that up. But let's see. I'm going to throw up a poll in a second. Are there any other anime people are watching that like I should consider at this point? Because, I think I have a little bit of bandwidth now that I've done binge caught up. And baby M is going to be 1 month old on Monday. And it seems like things are like, steadily improving in the sense of regularity. And last one. Alrighty then. And here we go. So there's a poll. You let me know with the poll. I mean, maybe I'll pick up all of them if everything is even. Maybe I'll pick up 2 or 3. Who knows? But what are people saying about this? Okay, let's see. Luigi says Clevates is amazing. Luigi, you have been watching like a lot more anime than I have, so I'm just gonna be real with you. I don't have your bandwidth, man. I don't have your bandwidth. I haven't seen Riosatsa. I haven't seen Clevates. Don't plan on watching it. Why don't you plan on watching it? I mean, bandwidth could simply be an issue, or you just don't have any interest. I understand that. There's a lot of anime out this summer season that I'm just not planning to watch. Like Solo Camping for 2, not interested. Just it seems like my cup of tea, but I'm just not interested for some reason. Joe says Clever Test is good. I did see that you say it was fantasy and it's not an isekai. Mr. Music Major says it's really good and surprising. This is not my type of anime. Okay. So you guys are saying it's worth it. I mean, it looks like Clever Test is number one so far by a large margin, so maybe I should watch that. I guess I'll pick that one up next. Mikaido no Sisters has been a gem. What is that? What is Mikaido no Sisters? Because I need to understand what that is. Aaron also says it's good. Is it a romance? Because I know that you tend to like romances, Aaron, as well. So I'm curious. Is that a romance? Nina says with you in the rain is cute. Okay. It's a Ishikaya, I think that's what they're called. It's like that soft mood anime, and that's also my vibe. Grand Blue Dreaming season 2. Okay, so here's the caveat for some of the seasons that are out this season. I want to watch Call of the Night, but I haven't seen season 1, so therefore it's not on this list. I have to watch season 1, but trust me, it's a plan. And same for Grand Blue Dreaming, because Grand Blue Dreaming didn't have season 1 anywhere, and I'd never seen it in the past. And when they said they were announcing season 2, or they were coming out with season 2, I was like, oh, hold up. How are you going to drop season 2 without season 1? I don't understand. And season 1 is not available on other streaming platforms, so what do you expect me to do? So I have seen 2 episodes of Grand Blue Dreaming season 1. We'll see if I can get to finishing season 1, but I would like to get to season 2. It's on my list. Trust me, it's on my list. So maybe what I'll do is start watching season 1 of Grand Blue Dreaming and add Clever Test, because it looks like 55% of you are saying Clever Test with you and the rain being second. I feel like I might table Rudy Rocks, because Rudy Rocks is a geology show, and I'm really with the sciences. If you know me, I love them. So maybe I'll table that, and Let's Go Karaoke is just not happening. Sounds like it's not happening. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. You've made my life a lot easier by helping me out with that. We're going to go with Clever Test, because it looks like this is what you voted on. So what else are you guys saying about it? I've seen the first episode of Clever Test and I'm interested, says Shay. Okay. I mean, that might be enough for me. Riasat said Hell Teacher Nube. I've seen clips of that. It's not really my vibe. I think that one is probably not something I'm picking up. Saint Shade says Grand Blue season 2 might be too much for Mel. Why? I ask why. I'm only going to say this because I've seen, I don't know if anyone in this chat has seen Asobi Asobase like that. That is my kind of comedy. If you've seen it, then you know what my taste in comedy is. It's a little bit absurd. Actually, it's a lot of bit absurd. If you've never seen it, you should watch it. It's really, really absurd. I'm so upset. There's only 12 episodes. I'm looking for a manga at this point, because it is literally just ridiculous. Marco, do you read Blue Box manga? If so, is it a good read after season 1? I'm not reading that. I saw that there were a lot of chapters, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna watch the anime. I heard it's really good though. I've seen some people read it, but personally I don't think that's something I'm gonna pick up just due to bandwidth. Riasat said there's so many anime out, I can't watch everything. Yeah, it's not possible. So Mikado no Sisters is a romance. Okay, maybe I'll watch a trailer and see how I feel about that, because I'm gonna definitely pick up Clever Test. And I think I'm going to also pick up With You in the Rain, and maybe start season 1 of Grand Blue Dreaming. How about that? How's that sound? That sounds great, right? Marco says, I think it's another anime. It looked cringe to me, but I might watch it. All right, let me know how it goes when you watch it. Luigi says, Mikado no Girls think, quintessential quintuplets with 3 options in the MC is crazy walking green flag. I like green flags. Maybe I'll think about it, because I did like the quintessential quintuplets. I actually really enjoyed it a lot. Is it as good as quintessential quintuplets? Because there are some variations of quintessential quintuplets and they were not good. Not at all. Saint Chet said it's online somewhere. Yeah. I mean, Crunchyroll now has Grand Blue Dreaming on season 1 on Crunchyroll. So I'm just going to watch it there. Before I was just looking online for it and I was being lazy. So the MC is a feminine a feminine house husband type, while the three sisters are alpha women. That sounds interesting. That sounds really interesting. Oh, wait. Ariasat says it's a copy paste of quintessential quintuplets. I don't like that. I don't like copy paste. That makes me feel like I'm not going to enjoy it as much if it's like exactly the same. So I think again, I'll watch a trailer and see how I feel about that. Saint Shade says Grand Blue is my favorite rom com out there. Yes, because there are romance like elements in like from what I've seen in the first few episodes of it. Like I saw that. I mean, it's got that slapstick comedy that I actually kind of like. Marco says I'm excited for Ranma season 2, and that comes out this fall. We'll get to fall soon, right? In when does fall usually start? In October? Yeah. We'll get to fall eventually. Hopefully we could do a midpoint check-in like this one. And Marco is asking, did you like Quintessential Quintuplets ending? My gripe with it is that it was shown as a movie and I didn't like that. Yeah, so I didn't watch like actually I did watch the movie. I watched it on Crunchyroll. I didn't go to the theaters for it because I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm not doing that. So I'm just gonna like watch it at home. And I did. And I don't know, man. Like my thing with Quintessential Quintuplets ending is that I low key feel like they downplayed the last girl so much that I didn't find it believable. Like they showed how like it came to this point and why the MC, whose name I'm blanking on, picked the last girl in Quintessential Quintuplets, for those of you who haven't watched it. But I will say that I just didn't feel vested in the last girl because it just felt like ambiguous. It felt like it wasn't clear. And I guess that's the whole idea of like this harem, like choose the final girl stories. It just didn't feel believable to me. Maybe I'm like slow for that, but it didn't feel as believable to me to the point that I was just like, you know what? This was a nice anime, but I don't feel like I loved the ending. It was okay. It was okay. And yeah, if it's a carbon, I said Temu quintessential quintuplets, Marco. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I'll check a trailer out though. It's worth a trailer watch at least at the minimum. Riyasat says should have wanted Miko or Nino to win. Like I feel like they overplayed their hands on those two and they really got the fan base super invested in those two girls and they just were like, nah. It was a little bit messed up in that context. I didn't really love it. Marco says it was narratively set up and the girl that one needed more character interaction with Futaro in terms of romance. Yeah, I mean, they explained it to us. They set it up, but I didn't like the way they set it up. I think that's the point behind it. I didn't like the way they set that up. Anyway, nonetheless, yeah. Thanks for joining the live, everyone. If you are just jumping in, make sure you sub if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, and make sure you like the stream if you haven't done so already. This is nearing the end of the stream because, we talked about everything we needed to talk about in terms of like anime this season. So I appreciate you all tuning in, especially because, I've kind of been on hiatus, very quiet. Also, it took a lot of work to make this happen because we're going to run out and get back to mommy duties soon. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate it. To be honest, I didn't think anyone was going to show up because this was super last minute. So I appreciate every single one of you that's in here for engaging, for interacting, for liking the stream, for subbing, whatever the case is. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. But yeah, everyone enjoy the rest of your Saturdays. I hope that oh, hello. Saint Shade. Fragrant flower blooms with dignity. Can I just say that I haven't watched it yet because Netflix is like being a bitch? That's the thing that I'm not gonna surf the seas for that one. It's gonna drop the 7th of September, so I'm gonna watch it then. I'm gonna be really pissed because something tells me they're gonna drop that week to week. I really want to watch it because it looks so beautiful. Like it looks so beautiful, but Netflix was just like to all its other fans, and I don't appreciate that. Nonetheless, thank you everyone for joining the stream. Like, sub. I will catch you hopefully soon. There's a live that was in the works before I went on hiatus, and we'll circle back to that. I'd like to talk about everyone's anime guilty pleasures and manga guilty pleasures. So think about that. I'm gonna post the question up somewhere, Threads, Instagram, maybe on the YouTube channel. Uh, anyway, have a great one, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.